Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this best of two series once again between TNC Predator and SGD. It is, of course, MLPDota joining you. And if you weren't watching Game 1, TNC Predator, it was a pretty close matchup to begin with. However, they did end up taking over in the later stages of the game. And I was just on Twitter, and TNC made a post saying that they had a surprise in store for this matchup. So it looks like they're going to be drafting something rather interesting for themselves. They're going to be having a bit of fun. SGD, of course, I'm sure going to be completely serious. They go for the IO gyrocopter to begin with. But we'll keep a close eye on TNC. We'll see what they're trying to get going here. We did see Cuckoo on the Bane last game, so they were trying to run a core Bane. This time around, I do wonder what it'll be. We'll have to wait at a few bands before we get to see what's going on. Meanwhile, in Australia, while I was walking over to my PC to make sure everything was going, a damn massive spider was crawling across my floor. So that was quite nice. Just having to start the cast, and then there's a spider walking across you. That wasn't cool, but that's just an Australian thing, I guess. Just to be expected. You know, probably could have killed me, but anyway, casting's more important. We do see the Weaver being banned out from SGD. TNC Predator, a couple more ban-outs for them as well. Obviously, they do get rid of the Drow. They don't want to get Drow stratted when they're trying to have a bit of fun. Though the IO gyrocopter is still a pretty lethal combo to have to go up against anyway.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
They will get rid of the Bane themselves this time. I guess against the Void, the Bane is quite nice with that Fiend's Grip. Get Fiend's Grip in that Chrono, and then suddenly your Chrono is completely wasted. One more ban out though. Of course, SGD actually getting rid of the TA. It's one of those matchups like the TA, no matter what mid you're playing, if you're playing against a good TA player, you've pretty much lost the lane. There's just not really a way to win it against those side blades and refraction charges.
5 seconds remaining.
And it looks like they really want to be able to secure that mid lane again. Of course, last game, Armel, he had a tough time in the early stage. They really were harassing him quite a bit with that Monkey King, and they took him down a few times.
TNC Predators turn to pick.
It didn't seem to bother TNC too much, though. They'll get rid of the Broodmother themselves.
Dire team pick. Lena.
So we see the Lena getting picked up. I guess nothing too surprising yet.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
SGD starts using this reserve time for this third pickup now. The thing is with TNC is it's hard to draft against them, especially when you don't know what lanes they're putting these heroes in. And so they sit here thinking, what do we go for? There is some nice burst potential there on the IO at the very least with that Lena. You've also got that Void to burst down the IO through a Chronosphere. The idea is, once the IO is gone, the gyrocopter really isn't the hero he used to be. It's a pretty weak carry without the IO. Looks like SGD. They'll pick up the Nyx Assassin again. It's a fair choice. Though I guess at the very least they just want to see more so of what TNC's up to with their draft.
Seconds remain. Dire team pick.
Alright, so what's going on? They've got an Ogre Magi, they've got a Lena, they've got an Ancient Apparition. Fair enough. So there's your... It still looks fairly normal, I guess. But they promised a surprise. So I have a feeling this AA is doing something different.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
SGD now. 40 seconds reserve time left for them. Again, this draft from TNC is still quite confusing. And they will go for the tiny pickup now.
Dire team ban.
Final banouts. They will get rid of the Marana immediately on the side of TNC. SGD one more, and we get to see how this all finishes off. And I get to see why or what the surprise is. By the way, in case you were enjoying this style of Dota, this SEA/Chinese Dota right now, there is one more best of 2 after this. And it will be actually SGD again, but this time they'll be up against a team called Neon in that final best of 2. So if you're enjoying, please stick around with us after this. $20 seconds reserve time. They'll get rid of the DK now. SGD. How do they finish their draft off? They need a mid-hero here. Again, 20 seconds reserve time. So not too much time to think about this. They still don't know their matchup though, which is a real problem for them. It's not as easy as the last game where you go the Monkey King and you run it against the Kunkka. They're going to let this tick down quite low, SGD. They will pick up the Wind Ranger for themselves. We've seen this a couple times during this APL. Most of the time hasn't really worked out though, to be fair. Like they do land nice shackles, they land the power shots, they get the focus fires off, but it doesn't really seem to add up to anything.
10 seconds remaining.
Mind you, I guess with the IO, once he hits level 15, you can always tether to the Wind Ranger, give her the free ags instead of the gyro if you really want. TNC now, last pickup for them. Alright, so they go for the Husker. Fair enough. Cuckoo will be playing the Ogre Magi. Ninja Boogie will be in the AA. Tims will be on the Lena. Armel, of course, on the Husker. And Gabby on the Void. Well, let's see how this goes. I feel really bad for SGD. They have to go against the Husker strat. Not to mention, even after the Husker, you've still got the Void to worry about. Not necessarily the best Husker game in the world, though. Like, there is a lot of right-click damage coming out of SGD as well to be able to try and take this man down. It's not necessarily all magic damage. But at the same time, there's no real direct counter. While we're waiting, I went on the Dota 2 Reddit, or the subreddit, well, just a minute ago actually, What's all these threads about the Ricky nerfs coming out? I mean, Jesus. I'm pretty sure they're going to nerf it in 7.20. I mean, the guy's almost got a 60% win rate now. I'm fairly sure it's getting nerfed, guys. Literally half the thread is about Rikimaru right now. I guess there's nothing else really going on though, to be fair. We'll get into the game. Should be a fun one to watch. TNC running the Husker. Armel, again, didn't have the greatest game last time around. This time, we'll see. He should have a bit of fun on this hero. They always love starting off with the voice lines. There's a lot of mutual respect between these two teams as well. It's always great to see. Even the tips just seem like they're in good nature. Nice joke. Gets it started off onto Ninja Boogie. Alright, so they're playing a core Ogre Magi, right? So, what's this meant to do for the side of TNC, is what I wonder. Like, they ran the core Bane before. He got a Necro 3, and then he got a BKB, and that was pretty much it for him. What can he do on this Ogre? TNC. Gonna say hello to SGD at the bot lane. Cold Feet. Or I should say the Chilling Touch. Already leveled up, and they almost get the Nyx Assassin from that. In fact, Gabby goes for more. Those Fire Spears ticking him down, but he'll be fine. TNC actually managed to get all 4 Bounty Runes. My goodness, that's a great start for them. So Nazjo up against Armel. Not too bad for the Tiny at the early stages of the lane, like in the first few levels, but once you get a few more levels up on that Husker, it does get very frustrating to go up against. Meanwhile, Cuckoo going up against MCY. Tim's on that support leaner. Cuckoo hasn't found one last hit though, and he won't get it with that one either. There it is. Well, the Nyx Assassin. Go for a creep pull. Gabby just farming up at the bot lane. Nothing too much going on right now. Rampo on this Wind Ranger. Again, most Wind Rangers we've seen during this league haven't really done so well. It's just the hero just doesn't suit the meta at all. I mean, we'll see if SGD can change that, but like they seem to always land 2-man shackles and things like that. It just doesn't change anything. There's never any follow-up afterwards. Now Nazjo probably going to start getting a bit frustrated with these Fire Spears. He's only got one shared Tango left as well. And he's pretty close to the bottle, but he's not quite there yet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, MCY almost falls. Light Strike Array comes in. Kirit's moving a bit forward. They really want Tim's, and they will find him. Cuckoo trying to go for the trade, and he will not be able to get it. Fire Blast not dealing enough damage to the IO, and now Cuckoo may end up falling, but they'll leave him be with the homing missile. So SGD finding the first blood for themselves. The top lane, again, they're having a go onto MCY. I guess they've got a very easy setup for the Light Strike Array in that Fire Blast, and there it is again. Fire Blast is available to Cuckoo, and he will find MCY with that level 2 Fire Blast. Kiritz will be able to get out of there safely. They will get Tims as well. He does actually go for the Bloodlusters on the Ogre Magi. Of course, that is pretty standard, but no levels in Ignite. Not quite yet. Meanwhile, mid lane, Nazjo having a really tough time. 6 last hits in comparison to the 16 of Armel. That'll make it 7. But Armel not letting him get anywhere near him. The bottle, he has no charges left in it. To make matters worse, that tree throw doesn't even get the last hit. Gabby pretty much free farming at the bot lane as well. Like, they don't have the heroes to really shut him down. He's just going to be able to time walk all the damage you deal to him off. The top lane again. Kiritz falling relatively low. Does have plenty of regen available on top of him though. Cuckoo won't throw out the Fire Blast quite yet. Meanwhile, Nazjo again. He will find an Illusion Rune for himself, but these Fire Spears from Armel already at level 3. There's just so much damage coming in onto this Tiny. Top lane, Cuckoo, he's going to fall really low here, although he will go for the Fire Blast, and now a rotation coming in. Tims finds the follow-up stun, and Kiritz will end up falling. Nazjo again, mid lane, trying to come close to Armel, but really just can't do anything. On top lane, MCY gonna find Ninja Boogie. Should be able to get this kill. The homing missile coming in. Cuckoo trying to help out. Doesn't have mana, but he does have stick charges and a mango. They will find the light strike array. Cuckoo will grab the bounty rune for himself, and MCY may actually end up falling here. The Kiritz has plenty of regen, but he actually can't heal him up when he's full HP. And MCY will end up going down as well. Kiritz actually gets stunned up. Yeah, he's down. The mango available, and Cuckoo will claim it for himself. This core Ogre Magi working out so far. I wonder what kind of itemization he'll go for though on this Ogre. Like, is he going to go for some kind of crazy right-click build with the addition of Bloodlust, or does he go for like the Ags, or I guess we'll find out. Mid lane, Armel gets tossed back. They are waiting there with the Impel. Rampo's there as well, though he will just life break a creep and make a run for it. No, nice shackle coming in from Rampo to set up Armel. He actually will end up falling. A fantastic shackle coming up from Rampo. SGD very happy with that. Will at least give a bit of time and space for Nazjo to breathe on this Tiny. The man's been on fire half the game. Rampo has been farming pretty decently on this Wind Ranger as well. Like, he hasn't been able to shut Gabby down, but it doesn't really seem to bother him at all. The top lane, Gabby does rotate, has the chrono available, probably won't need it, but does commit it just in case, and he will find MCY. It looks like he really wanted to catch Kiritz in that as well. Light Strike Array will not connect, Time Lock's not coming out either. So Kiritz will make it out. Meanwhile, Tim's again trying to harass this IO. But this time around, homing missile will chase. Mind you, this is a support laner, so this is considered somewhat of a waste of time. In the sense that he's not farming, but he does find the kill. Meanwhile, mid lane, Armel again going down to Nazjo. So they're really trying to shut this man down. Gabby should be okay top lane. In fact, he's going to make the chase onto IO, but the tether comes out immediately. And they switch their core Ogre over down to the bot lane to really make sure he can secure some farm up. Light Strike Array connects again. No time locks coming out. MCY now. Homing missile is there onto the void, but looks like they will manage to kill it off. Gabby just trading hits with MCY right now. Rampo. Looks like he's going to go straight into a Maelstrom, I'm guessing, with that Javelin. As Joe as well finds a double damage rune on this Tiny. He has bottled up and he's going to go for a gank, although Wind Ranger in a lot of trouble, but Ninja Boogie going to be in more trouble. One hit took out over half his HP, and now the Shackle again from Rampo. Oh my. Cuckoo should end up losing his life, but he finds the trade anyway, and now he makes a run for it. He has a TP available. The tip's coming in, Cuckoo. He will end up eventually falling. Nazjo finds the right click with that double damage rune. These shackles coming out from this Wind Ranger. Meanwhile, mid lane, Armel, top of the net worth board right now, just free farming and pushing in the tier 1 tower. They will send in the Wind Ranger to try and stop this from happening, so Rampo, excuse me. Unsure his tier 1 is safe though. Top lane, Chrono is on both of them. Looks like the IO will end up dropping first. Now MCY as well, the Cold Feet and Light Strike Array were there. And he does heal up with the one charges. Gabby though, will time walk off all the damage he copped. And with that, Gabby will actually take over the top net worth for his team now. Looks like Rampo will make a rotation up. Mind you, all these movements with Rampo, he's starting to lose quite a bit of net worth. He's not really farming during all this time. He also gets scanned out as well, so they know there's a rotation coming in. Gabby, they'll throw a homing missile out onto the void, but he'll be fine. Meanwhile, Armel just trying to pick up an armlet. Cuckoo, what's he going for now? Looks like he's going for a Hood of Defiance. So nothing too special yet with this itemization. Though they will go ahead and gank up this Nyx Assassin. Spy Carapace comes out, but they'll just wait it out though. Impel does connect on Gabby. Cuckoo will be there. And SGD, they do lose their Nyx Assassin at the bot lane. Rampo with the voice lines again. 9-8 now. Almost 11 minutes in. I mean, as it stands right now, like, Gabby's pretty much free farming. So is Nazjo, in a sense, on this Tiny, but this is a Tiny versus a Void. Doesn't really work out in favor of the Tiny later on in the game. He just usually gets Chrono dies, although Armel gonna be in trouble. A nice relocate gang coming in, but here comes Cuckoo. Now the Ice Blast as well. We'll connect on two of them. MCY is still relatively healthy, dealing a lot of damage to Cuckoo. Power Shot will not connect. Ninja Boogie though will go down, and now here comes Gabby. Impel connects onto the Ogre. No Chrono for another few seconds, but he really wants MCY, and he's probably gonna commit this Chrono just for that kill. And in fact, he finds two of them. The Tiny blinked into it, and now MCY goes. Gabby's on a triple. Nazjo going to try and best to take out this Void, but the Time Walk's available, and Gabby's just going to Time Walk off some of that damage. They'll still make the chase for it, but he is Bloodlusted up, so he just runs way too fast. Nazjo had no mana for it anyway, for any of his abilities. Still, a nice attempt from SGD, but, well, they end up losing the fight in the end. Armel, he does have the armlet up now. We'll show back up in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Gabby, he will go for the Mask of Madness for himself. Pretty standard on this Void. It looks like Tims is also trying to secure a bit of farm himself in the jungle. SGD now. Smoke coming out. They're heading towards that bot lane. It's only Ninja Boogie there though. I'm not sure if this is worth the smoke. And he's going to back off anyway. So they may be able to secure the tier 1 tower.
Roshan has
But Roshan was apparently being taken. Armil was there. Apologies, I didn't notice that was happening, but apparently it was. Nazjo will rotate over to the mid lane. There are 3 heroes there, though. This isn't exactly an easy pick-off onto Armil.
is under attack.
Not to mention he's holding an Aegis. They do jump in, however. Avalanche Toss is there. Armil cops literally no damage, and the Tiny's gone. Ice Blast, though, will not connect onto Rampo. The tier 1 will end up falling.
Has fallen.
Power Shot as well does not connect onto Armil. Hood of Defiance now. Finished up onto Cuckoo. How's that Gyrocopter doing? Trying to go for a Sanj. Things are doing okay. He's 3rd in net worth. Actually, Armel ends up finding the Nyx Assassin. Starts farming up the jungle, the ancient stacks. And I guess when you are ahead, you can just take these. This is a Gyrocopter after all. There are going to be ancient stacks around the map. Rampo now sticking around mid lane. Armel will get started with the Fire Spears. Takes down half his HP in 3 hits.
Radiant's
And that
bottom
top tier 2
is
tower
under attack.
appears to be the target of TNC. Rampo just holding onto the Javelin. He's actually going to go for a Blink Dagger next. Feels like he needs to really set up these shackles for the team, which is absolutely fair enough. The tier 2 is being pushed in. It looks like there'll be absolutely no defense coming out from SGD, but rather they'll try to find a trade. But MCY, he takes that tower a lot slower.
Dire's top
And that
tower
tier 2
is
top's
fallen.
already gone. In fact, they're going to come down and try and engage now on the side of TNC.
Radiant's mid
And well, there's Armel. Jumps straight onto MCY. Call down will come down, but now the Chrono. Gabby will take these kills for himself. A nice little double kill coming out. And of course, a little dance afterwards. There's Joe. Going for the mid pick off onto Tim's. Should be able to find this quite easily. Avalanche. Toss is not there though. Shackle will connect again. So Tim's will end up falling. But again, this is a support laner. TNC not going to care too much about this.
Radiant's middle
A
tower
nice pick off nonetheless. And Tim's, he actually already has a Hood of Defiance himself. Cuckoo. What's the next item for this ogre? Does he even need one?
Dire's bottom
Like Armel, he's pretty much online on this Husker now. Gabby's really overtaking in farm. Ice Blast, gonna come in mid lane. Now, Cuckoo, he wanted to go for something, but he's gonna get shackled up. In fact, he won't even latch. Rampo gonna make the chase with the focus fire. Impale will not connect, though Cuckoo should be dead. But here comes Gabby to try and help out. Rampo is in trouble. The regen rune, he doesn't find it in time. Gabby will take it for himself. Top lane, MCY desperately trying to farm up a bit. Still trying to get that Sanch. It's not like he's farming badly either. It's just that TNC are farming way too quickly.
Radiant's top
The tier 2
is under
bot tower will go down.
has fallen.
Armel still holding onto that Aegis, although it should expire within a couple minutes.
Radiant structures are fortified.
It looks like he'll be going straight into that Heaven's Halberd.
Under attack.
It's fair enough against that Gyrocopter.
Radiant are scanning. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
MCY does have the Sanj up. Gonna turn into a Sanj and Yasha, it seems. The TNC have smoked up now. Chrono is available.
Dire are scanning.
Looks like the side of SGD are aware something's wrong, and they do actually scan them out through the smoke. And again, with that Aegis on the Husker, you really don't want to engage because you're going to kill the guy twice. The Cuckoo almost finds the Tiny. Quick blink coming out. Rampo now actually changing his mind. He doesn't go for the blink anymore. Rather, he's going straight for an
Dire's
MKB.
middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are
which I guess is fair enough up against the Heaven's Halberd Armel's going for. Aegis will also expire. Shackle will not end up latching this time around though. Cuckoo will be there with the Fire Blast. Ice Blast coming in as well. Cuckoo not even bloodlusting himself yet. There it is. This tier 2 mid tower, Armel will start taking it down slowly but surely.
Dire's middle tower is
Do the side of SGD even try to defend this? It looks like they won't. They do head to the bot lane. They're just trying to avoid them at all costs and just keep trying to get farm on MCY.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
But TNC, sooner or later, they're going to start knocking on the tier 3s. And MCY keeping up somewhat with this net worth, but is still about 2k behind. Now a Chrono comes out from Gabby. The Ice Blast is there as well, and they'll take down both of them. Just perfectly done.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Nasjo trying to get a Shadow Blade up, but things are going quite slowly right now for SGD. The line being drawn out at the bot lane as well. MCY has a TP out, has a TP available, though they will try and go for the Ancient Apparition Ninja Boogie. And he will still be alive, but the Flak Cannon will burst him down eventually. Top lane, Nasjo does get pinged out, but Armel does not want to really engage at the moment. Looks like Nasjo ends up getting out of there anyway. At the very least, Shadowblade is up now on the Tiny. But SGD, it just kind of feels like they're sitting here wondering what they can do. And I still do question a lot whether this Gyrocopter can carry up against the Void later on in the game. Like Gabby now, he has a BKB. It is at 9 seconds. But still, the farm is really starting to come in. Armel as well, trying to get a BKB of his own. Already had that Heaven's Halberd though. Nasjo waiting for a pick off in that mid lane. Ninja Boogie will just use the Ice Blast to push that wave out a bit. But the whole jungle is just being taken right now by TNC, though Nyx Assassin will walk into them. Armel doesn't go for the life break quite yet. And Rampo immediately coming down, looking for a shackle attempt. Won't find anybody though. And again, they literally just stand at these ancients.
Radiant are scanning.
Tim's back down to defend though. It looks like TNC may go for an engagement, but SGD again just backing off, not interested whatsoever in this. Dota probability, or Dota plus probability says there is a 93% chance of TNC winning this game, which seems very accurate right now. Relocate. They are actually jumping straight onto that Lina, and Tim's, well, he does end up dying. The Nyx Assassin was there to scout it out. Meanwhile, though, look at that mid lane.
Radiant structure.
Armel starts pushing in. Again, it is decently slow, but the side of SGD, how do they engage into this? Looks like they'll switch to the top lane instead. Meanwhile, bot T2 tower is being taken down by MCY. He will get that pickup.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Cuckoo finishes off that Spirit Vessel on himself as well.
Are scanning.
It looks like TNC, they're just waiting for this Roche pit. Roshan going to be up in a minute 15 seconds. Still a bit of time to go, but we'll see how patient they are. Gabby going to find Nasjo, knows he's there, commits the Chrono for it as well. Nobody around to help him out with this. Gabby now godlike. Sitting there with 10-0 with 3 assists. And with that, again, through the mid lane they go. Though they smoke up. Where do they head to now? Well, I guess they know that this Gyrocopter and this IO are somewhere in their jungle. They show up at that bot lane. Though there is no chrono available, they don't really feel like they need it. Cuckoo running in head first. Looks like Tim's is baiting them in, and now Cuckoo comes in. The Fire Blast is there, the Cold Feed as well. MCY, he gets the Life Break, Laguna Blade as well, and Kiritz is going down as the secondary. Gabby wasn't even required. With that, the Roshan about 10 seconds away now. Nyx Assassin will get caught out by Gabby, though he does have Chrono, but the time lock will be enough. He BKBs up as well. He really wants his kill. Another time lock coming in. He doesn't go for it after that focus fire, though. Rampo does have that MKB, does deal a hell of a lot of damage with that focus fire now. Roshan is up. Gabby scouts it out. They'll go and start taking it immediately with just this void. It's like Kiritz, he'll get a tomb. He does hit that level 15 mark now on this IO, so at least you have the side gunner available while you're tethered to this Gyrocopter. It is a nice power curve for the IO Gyro combo. There's Joe. Thinking about diving in, but they know that he's there. He does dive in onto Tim's and will find the pick-off, but the Aegis is already gone. He goes for an immediate TP attempt. Though they do find Rampo anyway on that Wind Ranger. With that, line being drawn out, a very messy line. Then TNC draws a very similar line at the bot lane. So both teams thinking the same thing. I don't know what they're thinking though. Gabby, Chrono available. He wants that gank onto the Gyrocopter again. Looks like this time they will TP out immediately. Scan will reveal Gabby. Won't bother with it. Rather, he'll start pushing up that bot wave. Now TNC. They'll go for the push mid lane. Here we go. Aegis is up. How did SGD defend this? Got to see some amazing shackles coming out. We already have, but it's going to be even better. Gabby still holds on to the Chrono. He has the cheese available. Of course, Armel holds on to the Aegis. Fortification used. Nazjo, he will jump in, but Armel gets started. Now the Chrono as well comes in. MCY, he has been relocated, but he doesn't want to be here. He ends up going down, and Kiritz is gone as well. Buyback comes through from the Wind Ranger. Armel, he moves over to the top lane with the rest of his team. Kiritz hasn't even bought back yet on that IO. There's just no point while the Gyro is down, I guess. And they're just going to get mega creeped here. Gabby moving forward. He will actually hit the Nyx and just back off. Just a nice little slap. Now, the Megas are incoming. TNC look to take... Well, they look to take their 5th series of this league, convincingly 2-0. No GG core yet. SGD, they are going to go for a final defense, it seems. MCY comes in. TNC, do they really back out of here? It looks like Armel has no choice. He gets tossed back in, but the Aegis is available. Now the rest of TNC coming in. Gabby is there with the time dilation, and it looks like Nazjo is just going to disappear. Meanwhile, Armel copying a bit of damage, but he's still fine. Rampo's gone as well. MCY is trying his best, but Kiritz is going to die. He will buy back this time around, though, and they're still chasing this void. Gabby, though, will be fine because Armel will be there with the Fire Spears, and MCY calls it. A fun game coming out. TNC just having show matches apparently throughout this league. A nice impale as well. But that'll be it. A 2-0 for the side of TNC. They are still undefeated. throughout this group stage, and they'll remain at the top of the groups. I guess to be expected as well. Hopefully some team comes along that can put up a real crazy good fight against them, but well, I guess SGD did in the first game, but it was only for the early to mid game. Nevertheless, the league still has plenty of time to go, so I'm sure we'll see it. And on that note, we have one more best of 2 series left. It will be... Sorry guys, just getting it now. It will actually be SGD again versus Team Neon this time around. That is our final best of 2 of the day, so please stick around if you're enjoying. Hopefully you're all having a good night. Consider following at MLPDota if you enjoy my casting. Otherwise, I'll be right back in just a moment for the final series. Won't be long.